Agassi and Todd Martin were sitting side by side just about an hour when I went up to chat to the guys, and they were very chummy and sort of talking about football and the baseball strike. I don't think they heard the news that you gave over CBS earlier that we may not have baseball, but it's a nervous time, but it's at the same time a very anxious time because you can't wait to get out there and really get into a really great match.
He's on his way. A live picture there as he heads for the stadium court. And Todd Martin is trailing behind about 25, 30 feet. They were, as Vita said, chatting football for a while, but right now all they're thinking about is tennis.
Now it's all business, and they still got a little ways to go. They're going to go up these stairs and back down to the press area where our CBS studios are located.
We should let everybody know, this is, by the way, Vita, this is our favorite part of the day, isn't it, watching these guys walk? We just actually like this. It's one of the genuine natural aspects of this compound is that the people get to actually see players and wave to them and that sort of thing. They're about 15 feet now from entering the stadium court.
And this is when the adrenaline starts to pump, because now you're just about to start with the other crowd.
Okay, gentlemen, all set.
They just can't wait. They got to get out. They got to get out.
Gentlemen, all set. Let's listen to the crowd. We hope you at home are applauding as well as we get set for the second men's semifinal here at the U.S. Open. The winner works tomorrow in the final. Back with tennis in a moment.
Carrillo and Tony Trabert, and the crowd that has been out for refreshments and other duties is filing back in for this second men's semifinal match. Andre Agassi, Todd Martin, and let's talk first about Andre Agassi, because here is a guy that comes into this tournament unseeded and yet is being treated like the defending champion by the crowd, by the media, because he's playing so well.
Well, he's playing extremely well. As he said, he's playing the best tennis he's ever played, and if you saw him play earlier in this event, you'd agree with him. He's seeing the ball very well. He's returned serve extremely well. He did lose to Todd Martin at Wimbledon, but here in his match against Michael Chang, he made believers out of a lot of people. When they got to the fifth set, everyone thought it would be Chang that would prevail, but Agassi played beautifully and won that match. And then he played Thomas Muster, who's a very tough guy to beat. Agassi had a losing record against him, and after a close first set, he just steamrolled and beat him 6-love in the third. So Agassi, I think, is a man of destiny in this tournament. He's playing awfully well. He doesn't like to play Todd Martin because Todd has a big serve and good ground strokes, but Agassi is playing extremely well, and as I say, he might be the man of destiny. He might win this whole thing.
You know, he's hitting the ball very cleanly. He says that himself. All the observers say maybe the best that he's ever hit it. But you pointed out something earlier when we were getting ready for this match, that he's really serving the ball effectively.
Well, he does. You know, he doesn't get credit for a good serve. You don't read about a lot of aces from Andre, but he moves it around well. He gets a pretty high percentage of first serves in, and as a result, he keeps his opponent from taking advantage of his second serve. So in windy conditions, I expect Andre will serve a pretty good high percentage of first serves.
Of course, we know he returns well, and he's facing a big server in Todd Martin. Now, let's talk about Todd Martin, Mary.
Todd the God.
Todd the God. He's ranked number 9. He's seeded number 9. He should be the favorite here today. It's hard to find somebody who thinks he is. What do you think?
Well, I think he's a little bit lucky to be here. Let's face it, he was down 3 match points in the first round against a pretty unknown Frenchman, Guillaume Raoux. And then in the 4th round, he played Richie Renenberg. Renenberg, who had knocked out Boris Becker, had taken the first set. This is Raoux. Finally, match point. He had said that it was one of the worst mental matches, this first round match against Raoux. one of the worst mental efforts he'd ever put in, but he got through it. And then again, Richie Renenberg, after winning the first set 6-3, injured himself and had to retire the match halfway through set 2. So as I said, Todd Martin is a little bit lucky to be here. That said, this guy hasn't even played one really good-looking match, and he's in the semis. So that says an awful lot about how well he competes and what a good battler he is. He's got an awfully big game. He's very solid off the ground. 6'6", so of course you're going to talk about his reach at the net and his big serve. But the fact is, he's got a very sound ground game. You can see he's had groin pulls that have kept him off of much of the hard-court summer season, and I think movement will be the key in this match. He's already taken a couple of titles this year, but as I said, coming into the U.S. Open, he, like Pete Sampras, was more injured and more off the court than he would like to have been.
We talked about Stieck, who did not do well in the Grand Slams. Todd Martin has done well on the Grand Slams this year, and here in this tournament, you can see that even though he has struggled here and there, Todd Martin, nonetheless, has gotten by some tough guys, including the young Australian Patrick Rafter. He looked very good against him, and Carbacher, who had worked his way to a quarterfinal. So maybe a little bit tough to assess exactly on the basis of the opponents he's had in this tournament, and we have to be concerned about the groin pull here in this semifinal match, although he says he's fine and that it shouldn't be too much of a problem for him. Andre Agassi, I think, is on a wave, Tony. He feels that way himself. I mean, it's not just everybody else saying that he's playing well. Without bragging, he realizes that this is as well as he's ever played.
Well, when you play as much as he's played, you know when you're playing well. You know when you're seeing it well, when you're picking the ball early. Agassi will stand near that baseline and try to handle the Todd Martin serve. Todd mixes the serve up well, doesn't really blast you over with it. Here's a look at how he got here. After an easy first round, he lost his set to Forget, had a tough time closing that match out. And then the big one, beating Chang in the fourth round, 6-1 in the fifth, and then annihilating Muster 6-love in the third in the quarterfinals. And that's gotten him to this semifinals. He is confident, he's strong, and probably as fit as we've ever seen him.
Well, and even the two matches against Forget and Ferreira, those are not easy guys to beat. He did stumble a bit against Forget and had that kind of deer in the headlights look for a while when he dropped that set, but he came back to do the job against Forget, and then he just took Wayne Ferreira apart. He discouraged him early, and when Ferreira gets discouraged, he usually goes south. That's what happened, and it was a case of Agassi getting on top of him right away. So he really has just gotten better and better as the tournament has gone on.
One of the things I'm looking for here, the contrast in style and personality, all panache and jazz with Agassi, and the ground strokes. The little guy, 5'11", runs well, and then big Todd Martin, who is just straight Midwestern, solid blue-collar guy who's an awfully good tennis player.
Well, Agassi came into this Open unseeded for the first time since 1987. He's been concentrating on his own game, and he figures whomever he would face would be a worthy opponent.
There's no question that, you know, he's played well against me, and his style of game is a tough game to beat, tough to get a rhythm on. He takes big chances from the baseline, and, you know, he's definitely a good player. You know, there's no question about that, but you know, I'm not hitting the ball too bad right now.
I'm not hitting the ball too bad right now, you know, but it's the little smile behind that that really says more than the line. He realizes that he's at the top of his game, and he's having fun, and he's excited about it. I mean, it's a great thing to see. You don't like to see any athlete be struggling in his sport, and when they are up and feeling good about what they've done, as Arantxa Sanchez Vicario must feel right now, that's a beautiful thing to see. Efforts well rewarded. Nellie has one of the more beautiful fans in the stands. Brooke Shields is here again today to cheer on Andre Agassi in his player's box down there, and of course she has been a great supporter throughout this entire tournament. Comes from a tennis family. Her grandfather Frank Shields, a finalist in 1930 in the U.S. National Championships. Todd Martin. Todd Martin seeded number 9 in the tournament. From Lansing, Michigan. You saw our feature piece on him just a little bit ago. He is really a fine young man, popular with the players, improving all the time. And of course, this is a tremendous opportunity for him. On paper, he's the favorite. He will not be the crowd favorite here. But you can be sure that his play and sportsmanship will be recognized by the sellout crowd here on the stadium court. A lot of empty seats at the moment, only because people have gone out at the end of the women's match, and they'll be filtering back in. 15. Booming way to start for Martin at 114 per.
15 all.
Michael Morrissey from Great Britain is the chair umpire for this men's second semifinal. Michael Stiek, the number 4 seed, awaits the winner. Championship action tomorrow here on CBS Sports.
15.
Two very fine serves into the deuce court. It looks like he's got an awful lot of native power, and of course he does, but Todd Martin, it doesn't serve as big as you'd think. He serves into pretty much the high teens when he wants to crank them. He moves them around the box more than anything. Not like Ivanisevic or Sampras, who blow you away.
30 all.
There's the score of the match earlier today. Michael Stiek in straight sets over Karl Novacek. 7-6 in the third, and what a brilliant championship match played by both women. Arantxa Sanchez Vicario struggled in the first set. Looked like Graf might roll over her. And the Spaniard prevailed in 3.
Again, fine serving from Todd Martin. That one 110. And he'll have to serve well. He's playing the best returner in tennis. And Agassi likes pace. So what Martin has to do is serve a canny brand of tennis.
He's going to get pace.
So Martin holds for the first game of the match. Andre Agassi serving for the first time. Love 15. Sorry we missed that first point.
Love 30.
Agassi has had 2 opponents in his last 2 matches who have hit a lot of balls, giving him a chance to get that great rhythm going. He's not going to see the same kind of rallies here today. It'll be interesting to see if he can continue to keep the rhythm and hit the ball as cleanly.
40.
Michael Chang and Tomas Muster, of course, the guys that like to stand back there and bang it away. Martin can hit from the baseline very effectively. Agassi holding, and we're even at 1. First set.
First service game we saw from Todd Martin. 4 serves didn't come back, and the 2 that did, Martin lost, which will probably be a pretty consistent pattern throughout.
Head-to-head, Todd Martin leads 3 matches to 2. The last one being at Wimbledon on the grass, of course, in the round of 16, winning in 4 sets, 6-1 in the 4th over Agassi.
15 love.
Another reason why on paper he should be the favored player in this match.
Yeah, but it's the big difference is the surface there. On Wimbledon grass, Martin could come in on first and second serves, which is a place to be on grass.
Yeah, and you get a lot of funny bounces on a grass court. You can't have the same confidence, take the ball as early, and be as successful as you can on this surface.
Todd Martin had a terrific looking Wimbledon. Again, he struggled to get as far as he did at Wimbledon, losing in the semis to Pete Sampras, but along the way, one of the 4 5-set matches he had was against Andre Agassi.
Well, 30-15.
Nice touch from Martin.
the softness of the hands here. He sort of lets the racket come back. See the head drop backwards to kill the thrust of the ball. Caught Agassi by surprise. I thought it was interesting in the clip that Agassi said he's got the kind of game that bothers me. That's good for an opponent to know that. He said, I know I bugged this guy the way I played. He doesn't like it.
First double fault from Martin. Went to Northwestern University before turning pro. And break point here. And Agassi has the break.
Agassi 15 left.
Andre Agassi serving with a break. At 2-1 here on the first set. 15 love. Tim Ryan with Mary Carollo, Tony Trabert, watching Todd Martin and Andre Agassi, second men's semifinal.
13 left.
Love, another beautiful afternoon. It has been throughout the entire tournament. Outstanding weather. Great look at the Statue of Liberty. Another game to Agassi in a 3-1 lead.
Agassi leads 3-1.
But one airship in its eye in the sky camera giving that great shot of the lady in the harbor, and these pictures of New York Harbor and Manhattan from more than 1,000 feet above the U.S. Open.
Agassi is taking 12 of the last 14 points. But Todd Martin has to declare himself again in this match.
Do it any better than that.
15.
Let's see where Martin is when this ball goes by him.
Not even close.
He's taken 2 quick steps, did a split step, not even close to the service line. It was gone.
Yep. See, that's the thing. I really believe that Todd Martin has the game to beat Agassi, but does he have the legs to beat Agassi? He doesn't think he missed that serve. He's questioning it a bit. Agassi keeping it very clean. Since working with Brad Gilbert March of this year, he hooked up with Gilbert. His game has really changed. And there's another double fault, his second. Brad Gilbert.
How so, Mary, specifically?
His game has gotten uglier, just like his coaches. Really, yes.
You better explain that.
Brad Gilbert used to win ugly, which means that he would force a player to play worse. Take them down to his level, he used to say, where he can knock them off. Second ace of the day. Agassi, I think, has lost a lot of the flash in the outrageous great shots and outrageous ridiculous shots he used to hit. He's playing more conservatively, and his conservatism has really helped.
It's not necessary, I don't think, conservatively as much as good percentage tennis, better percentage tennis. He doesn't try as many almost impossible shots as he once did.
40-30, Martin.
Game lost.
The ace is good. It's 3-2. Agassi with a break. Opening point of Game 6. Andre Agassi serving up a break. 15 love. Tomorrow, the men's championship, 4 o'clock here on CBS Sports. Michael Stiek, the interested observer somewhere, watching to see which of these players he'll face for the men's championship. There's Michael Stiek sitting there waiting in the final spot up top, having eliminated Karl Novacek earlier today.
Started with 128. We're down to 3.
Deep to the corner from Martin with power.
Watch how early Martin takes this one. Catches Agassi flat-footed. Nothing he could do about that. Just too much power.
Here's a baseline rally from Martin. 40-30. Agassi 4-2 here in the first. Agassi on the service break. College football action. Look at Florida State, 52-20 over Maryland, the number 4 ranked team. Alabama over Vanderbilt by 10. An upset there, North Carolina State over Clemson.
Florida State was trailing 2017, I believe, at the half. Something like that.
Very tough again. A little loose from Martin there. Above 15. Tied at 10 at the half. The Wolverines and Notre Dame.
Second serve.
This year at Wimbledon, during some of the struggles that Martin had, his serve left him a little bit, and he served some doubles, got a little shaky in some tight spots. He's not in that tough a situation this early, but
13-15.
Jammed Agassi there at 109 miles an hour, 30-15. And again, we can use Andre's hair as our wind gauge, actually, through the remainder of this match. You can see that both players are having the wind ruffle their locks. Just out. Close. .40-15. We'll return to the U.S. Open after this word from your local station. Andre Agassi at 4-3 up a break, serving first set. Just back. 15 love. Todd Martin's parents, his father Dale on the left, his mother Lynn. Great tennis fans.
Sounds like they're great Americans.
Yes, evidently.
He is a nice man, Todd Martin. And he's really, the USTA is very, very proud of him. He's used a lot of their coaching.
Well, he's a product of the USGA development program.
Exactly. We call him the poster boy. A whole bunch of them are watching this match. Jose Higueras has worked with him. Robert Van Hal.
Tom Gullickson.
Tom Gullickson. So he's had some wonderful coaching and advice. They're all there. Jose Higueras in the white cap. Front row.
Love game from Agassi for 5-3 here in the first set.
Agassi leads 5-3.
First row there in the white cap is Jose Higueras, who of course works with Jim Courier, and Tom Gullickson. And in the second row, in the white cap, is Robert Van Hal, his traveling coach.
Former tour player. Hey, that Tom looks a lot like Tim, doesn't he?
They could be twins.
Yes, sir.
Tom Gullickson is also the Davis Cup captain for the U.S.
He's got some tough selections coming up. He's got some tough problems with Sampras hurt and not going to play. And
15 left.
Courier has asked off the team. 4 races now for Todd Martin. Todd Martin has availed himself of Davis Cup. Again, he doesn't go for a lot. Now you look at this guy and you figure he can hit him in the 125 area, but he doesn't. He moves it around the box. With nice heavy ball. Keeps you guessing as to where he's going to go.
good kick serve, too. He gets it up pretty high a lot of the time.
15 all.
He's also regarded as a very good returner of serve, and that's what he's going to have to do if he holds here. Running out of games in this first set. Down a break.
30-15.
5 aces in the first 9 games for Todd Martin. Good return from Agassi.
He's in trouble when he misses that first serve.
That shows it, doesn't it?
Short ball jumped on by Agassi. Started with the second serve. Break point Agassi for the set. And he's got it. Andre Agassi. 2 breaks in the first set. Andre Agassi opening the second set.
Agassi played such a clean first set. 70% first serves in. And he only lost 4 points when he had the balls.
And he served around 100 in that area, 95 to 105.
15 all.
And only 3 unforced errors from Agassi. I'm telling you, this guy is not... He looks real flashy, Agassi. He looks heavy metal, but he's playing top 40.
13-15.
Late call, but out.
The other thing a lot is made of the way Agassi looks, his hair, and he doesn't shave some of the time and so forth. But, you know, he's a real good sportsman on the court. He never creates any problems at all on a tennis court except with his racket. This is going to be a low forehand. Normally this one he might pull down the line, but instead he goes back the other way. That's what fooled Martin that time.
Game Agassi.
Solid forehand from Agassi on the short ball. First game of the second set.
First game, second set.
Number 9 seed Todd Martin serving here. Down a set in a game. 15-love here in game 2 of the second set. Last year, Martin made the 3rd round of the U.S. Open. He accomplished that the last 3 years. So this is his best ever U.S. Open performance. He'd like to extend it another day.
(13-15).
17-7 in hard court matches this year, and served at 61% through the season, which was shortened somewhat because of the groin injury that still bothers him.
He needs more winners, Todd Martin. Maybe he's still a little nervous coming into this match because look at all the unforced errors he's going to have to counterbalance.
Nice play from Martin for the game to even things at 1-all. Second set. Let's go down to courtside and Andrea Joyce.
All right, Tim, I'm with Robert Vandhoff, Todd Martin's coach. You got off to a little bit of a slow start. What adjustments are you looking for in the second set?
Well, I don't think he's playing that badly. Andre's playing very well, so if he can just hang in there with his game plan and still play aggressive and see if Andre can make a few mistakes, he's back in this match.
We really haven't seen Todd Martin at his best, playing his best tennis yet in this tournament. What is it going to take to pull it out of him?
Well, I mean, he hasn't been playing badly, but I think he's pretty focused for this match, and he understands it's a big match, and I think he'll play better as the match goes on.
Well, he told us the other day he plays better when he comes from behind.
Yeah, well, he's behind the set, so he's got a good start at that.
All right, thanks, Robert. Back to you guys.
Hey, Andrea, second double fault for Agassi.
Here at the Open, after Agassi wins the first set, his record is 23-1. That's what I mentioned. You can see his record, and Lendl was the one to beat him.
Pretty good front runner.
Open. Yeah.
That's what you're saying, I guess.
Strikes me that his return game is what can turn it around for him, and he just hasn't been able to really make anything happen on return.
They have difficulty from the end that Todd Martin's on with the wind. I think they're back. The ball seems to fly on them. tougher to control.
40-30.
This man is the second runner-up in the Andre Agassi look-alike contest. There's an awful lot of fellas wandering around the tennis tournaments who try very hard to look like Agassi.
Well, that guy's going to have to lose a few pounds to look like...
I don't know. I wonder if he's wearing black socks.
Game Agassi.
Agassi holds on for a 2-1 lead here. In the second set, he's up a set.
15 love.
Todd Martin serving at 1-2 in the second set, 15 love. Tim Ryan with Mary Carrillo and Tony Trabert. Watching the second men's semifinal. The winner meets Michael Stieck tomorrow at 4 o'clock Eastern Time on CBS. Men's Championship, the United States Open.
That ball just floats, just gets away from you if you don't really catch it just right. To this point, Martin has served 34 points. 17 have been returned, and Martin's only won 5 of those 17 points. So when Agassi gets it back, he's very effective.
Cleanly won. 40 love. Big serve from Martin. And they're on serve here in the second set.
2-2.
I won't do that again.
Trying to find his return range, Martin. He's getting a little aggravated himself now. That was only a 77-mile-an-hour serve.
13 love.
That was only 88.
Love.
Cracked that one at 111 just to mix things up. You can see the numbers on his service. And an ace. That's a pretty impressive service game. Todd Martin opens with an ace here in game number 6 of the second set.
Listen.
Seventh ace for Martin. So he's having a fast service game.
And he gets fully extended, toss that ball well into the court. That was angled wide. Hit partially up the sideline.
Game Martin.
So Martin with a love game. Keeps things on serve here in the second set.
Agassi right up there after Pete Sampras on hard courts. And again, Todd Martin would be up there higher, I think, except that he had to miss a lot of the hard court season. That groin pull.
15 love.
Andre Agassi could have won one of the bigger hard court titles this year, the Lipton, with a walkover of Pete Sampras. But he allowed Pete Sampras about an hour and a half when Sampras's stomach was bothering him, and Sampras went on and beat him. Great show of sportsmanship from Agassi.
15-all.
Third double fault. 15-all. 3-all in the second.
When asked why he didn't just take the title, he said, hey, if I can't beat that guy if he's sick, I don't deserve the title. That's what he's been looking for.
Exactly.
A high-kicking 82-mile-an-hour serve is usually easy for Martin. It hasn't been so far, but this time he's got all that upper body strength and great height, and he just smacks right down over the ball.
Got it.
2 break points now for Martin. Come alive in this second set.
First break point chance for Todd Martin.
There it is for Todd Martin. Down a set, but up 4-3. Todd Martin with a break, 4-3, and serving at love 15 as Agassi attacked on the first point.
That's where that 6'6" frame and reach comes in handy.
15-all.
This set he's certainly serving better, Todd Martin. He hits this shot about as well as anyone I've ever seen. A low, short ball. How he gets over the ball so he can drive with some pace and enough topspin to bring it back down in the court. Usually when the ball's that low and somebody takes a circular swing, they go cross court with it to brush up the back and roll it cross court.
30-all.
30-all.
$14-13.
114 miles an hour. Goes to Todd Martin.
Agassi on the defensive here. Pushed deep into the backhand corner. That left this opening, but it was a sensational shot for the win. Martin holds on.
Agassi at 3-5. He won the first set 6-3. One break here in the second set. That's by Todd Martin. Go up 4-3.
That's a terrific hustle from Andre Agassi, because the drop volley from Todd Martin had quite a bit of underspin on it. Agassi knew that and made a special effort to get to that ball.
Yeah, that
get under it.
underspin keeps it going toward the opponent. Sort of stops it in its tracks.
That's easy.
Agassi serving this game with a vengeance.
Again, Martin now on the defensive. See how early Andre takes that ball.
14-15.
To 4. We'll return to the U.S. Open after this word from your local station. Todd Martin serving for the second set. 15 love.
Another ace from Martin gets him to 15 love. Remember how effective Agassi was in the first set, dropping just 4 points on serve. This man has dropped just 3 in set 2.
He has this wind at his back, and he really places that toss into the court so he can be fully extended, get a good start toward the net. It's a lot of power on it.
Set point for Martin. 3 of them. Just one break of serve, and he serves it out to 6-4. 10 aces for Martin. And we're all even. A set apiece. It's now best of 3.
Full extension once again. Look at the placement right smack in the corner. And there are some people here that enjoyed that one.
Agassi opens the third. 15 love.
Todd Martin still able to control it. He wanted to charge in on this shot. Kind of ran through the ball a little bit and made it anyway.
Good depth from Agassi.
That's what Agassi says. He says, I want to force my opponents one step back, and I want to move one step in. That's what he does so well.
Yeah, he's good at that, isn't he? When you can play around that baseline and hit the ball as hard as Agassi can and move it well. It's very, very effective.
It is windy on the court. Has affected play. And most of the day it's been kind of prevailing into the face of Andre Agassi right now. That's been the predominant direction. 40-15, second ace for Andre Agassi.
Again, the 102 proves to you it's not just sheer speed. It's how you set the thing up and where you place it.
Numbers are evening out nicely now for Todd Martin. For all those errors, most of them came in the first set.
Agassi holds for a 1-love lead. They're all even at 1 set apiece. Andre Agassi up 1-love in the 3rd set. They are a set apiece. Todd Martin serving. The battle of the Americans here in the second men's semifinal. The winner meets Michael Stick of Germany tomorrow. Serve and volley and good work at the net by Martin.
If it's Michael Stick, that's got to be one of the tallest finals in U.S. Open history. It'll be the battle of the giant praying mantises.
Some missed hits in this point. Afterwards, Martin was not happy with his first volley. Just still won the point.
Yeah. That's good work from Agassi. He kept moving forward, trying to take over the net.
A tentative volley by Todd Martin, too. This first volley, that was not the one. It was a previous volley that he didn't do much with, and that got him in trouble.
15 all.
Third double. Part of that is respect for the return of Agassi. You know, they tried to do a little bit too much with the pressure on the second serve.
Good pickup and a lot of pace on the next shot from Agassi.
2 break points now.
Yeah, Agassi hadn't gotten near Todd Martin's serve for the whole second set, challenging him right away at the start of set 3.
There's another chance. You can't be happy with that one.
Again, with that wind at your back from down there, it's just very difficult to keep that ball in play. Got to get a lot of extra top. Be very careful with it.
I think his toss is moving around too much. His 4th double fault. I thought a couple of times in that game, Todd Martin's toss, he was leading his toss into the court, but it was a little bit low. This is a second serve toss. This one was okay, but that one he sent long.
Agassi up 2-love with the break here in the 3rd.
15 love.
Jumped on that short ball. 30 love.
Shadows now over half the court. A little hard to go from light to dark, especially if you're trying to volley on this court. 3rd ace from Agassi.
5:15 Eastern time. Love game for Agassi and a 3-love lead here in the 3rd set. They're a set apiece. Todd Martin serving at love 3. 15 love here on the third set. Agassi won the first. Martin won the second set. Oh, yes.
Again, driving it into the wind helps you with that kind of a shot. Watch Agassi come up over the back of the ball with a very sharp motion. Creates extra topspin.
That's the thing. We saw his dismal record on second serve, Martin. Once his big serve is out of the action, once that point starts, you have to like Agassi off the ground. And a big return draws an error.
15 coaches.
And 2 break points.
Break this third set wide open if Andre can win one of these points to get 2 breaks. If Agassi does win this match, he'll be the first unseeded player to get the finals here since Jan Kodish in 1971. Fred Stolle was unseeded here in 1966 when he won the national championships, defeating John Newcomb, who was also unseeded. So it doesn't happen very often.
Cedric Pioline, the Frenchman, made quite a run here last year.
He was seeded, I think, wasn't he, 14th or something, 15, something like that.
Yeah, a very low seed, but an improbable run before being stopped by Pete Sampras. It would also mean that Agassi's beaten up on more seeds than anyone could have predicted. That double fault is 5th. That's pretty good. This could be number 4.
Matter of fact, I think when Vic Seixas won in 1954, he defeated 5 seeds. That's the most seeds anybody's have to defeat to win the tournament.
Chip and charge from Martin pays off.
And interestingly enough, Andre Agassi's girlfriend, Brooke Shields, had a grandfather who knocked off a bunch of seeds on his way to the U.S. Open final.
Frank Shields.
There's a return from Martin.
Very tough return, 2-hander. A lot of people think that the Martin 2-hander is as good as 2-handers out there.
He snatched at that ball a bit, but normally the 2-handed backhand return of Martin's is so good. You lose a little bit of stretch with a 2-handed backhand, but on return, Martin's 6'6". He's got 2 hands on that side. He can nail it.
Good serve from Agassi. Back to 30 all. Up 2 breaks here in the third set.
It's a good play from this end of the court. Block the ball back, try to get it fairly deep and put some pressure on. Chance to get one of those breaks back right here.
And he does. 4-1 in the third set. Agassi on top. Todd Martin serving here, down 1-4 in the third set, but having just broken Andre Agassi, but Agassi's still up a break. They're a set apiece on the stadium court. Second men's semifinal of the afternoon. Michael Steek awaits the winner in tomorrow's championship.
The shadow all the way across the court now, I think, will make it simpler for both players. There's another look at that last one. Agassi knows he hasn't fooled Martin. He didn't even try to come back. No way he's going to get there.
Love Martin. Thrilling three-setter by Arantxa Sanchez Vicario to win the U.S. Open Women's Championship from Steffi Graf. She came from a set down to do it. In fact, a set in which she didn't look very good and Graf looked wonderful.
Yeah, it looked like it was going to be a blowout, didn't it?
Yeah, so you never know. This one even at a set apiece. 40-15.
You said earlier, those type of rallies, you expect Agassi is going to be more successful most of the time.
Yeah, he's been winning to this point. 2/3 of the return balls he's gotten back.
Yep.
Some terrific first volleys from Todd Martin. He saw them coming, he handled them.
So Martin holds, Agassi 4-2, and the Budweiser blimp providing these wonderful pictures above New York and over the National Tennis Center. Bud One travels the country as the aerial ambassador for Anheuser-Busch.
Just showed there he needs to roll over that ball a little bit more. He practiced topspin there.
Maybe even use the rackets a little tighter because things are flying on him a little bit.
40 love Agassi. Been stretched to 5-2, up a break here in the third. And Todd Martin is 15 love at 2-5 here in the third. They are a set apiece. Tim Ryan with Mary Carrillo and Tony Trabert bringing you this action from the stadium court.
30 love.
Service winner from Martin to 30 love. Todd Martin, number 9 seed in the tournament from Lansing, Michigan. Andre Agassi unseeded from Las Vegas. Finalist here in 1990. This is Martin's best ever U.S. Open performance. Both players 24 years of age.
13-15.
That's number 6 in the double fault department. As I watch Todd serve, I feel like he has difficulty getting enough spin on it when he needs it. You know, brush a little bit more around the edge of the ball. Don't hit through it so much.
Tried to roll over that one and got hammered for it.
See, Andre realized he'd hurt him immediately. Watch what Agassi does. Here he comes immediately. As soon as he sees the effect of his return, he was on the way in just in case Martin got this one back. It's going to be short or a floater.
Big point for Agassi, and a set point.
Martin has found it very difficult to play from this end of the court.
As we've indicated, the prevailing wind, if you can call it that, in that swirling space down there, has been from behind where Martin is now, this end of the court.
This is all set up with a good return of serve. Gets a short reply. And that one just hits on the outside of the line. Set point once again.
Agassi up 2-1.
Just doesn't get over the ball. He gives you a little shorter motion, so that's a big swing at a ball that's very short. You're much more interested in control and disguise in that situation than you are sheer speed. Martin unforced errors 16 in that third set. Oh, he sort of tried to fake him out, a little head movement that time. What really worked was the net cord. When you're playing downwind, you just have a smaller window over that net to keep that ball in there and still keep it in the court. One way to do it is shorten your backswing a little bit. Another way is a little extra topspin.
Fourth ace for Andre Agassi. 30-15. Game 1 of the fourth set.
Good service motion, fully extended, both feet off the ground.
Agassi's fifth. Todd Martin serving for the first time in the fourth set, down 2-1, and Love won.
read this one well. He waited and then covered the cross court. Good soft hands. Didn't have to play that drop volley too closely because he knew that Agassi was well back. Well, that's not many unforced errors, is it? 3, 4, and 5 in 3 sets.
I think you can see in these pictures he's had extremely good concentration through the entire match. The numbers add up to that kind of focus that he's shown.
Tim, listen to how quiet these 18,500 people are normally in an Andre Agassi match. They're screaming and hooting and hollering for something. But Agassi isn't playing, again, he's not playing rock and roll tennis. These are light and easy favorites. He's keeping the errors down, getting a lot of balls back, making Todd play. And Martin has just not been quite up to it, except for that middle set where his serve worked well for him. But now, in this set, once again, Agassi seems to be drawing a very good bead on the Martin serving.
30 all.
That one really kicked up.
14 sets.
This stadium rocked during the Sanchez-Vicario Graf match, especially towards the end where they were both coming up with terrific plays.
Yeah, got exciting, didn't it?
Yeah. One more match after this for the men.
Awaiting the winner of this match. We're at 1-all in the fourth. Agassi up 2 sets to 1 in a very businesslike performance against his fellow American, Todd Martin.
Missed it. Agassi has certainly played from this end of the court much more effectively than Martin has. Again, he can get a little more topspin on his shots to help keep it down with the wind.
There's an air of command about him, too, in this match, as there has been throughout the tournament. 19 points on serve lost by Agassi. That's pretty impressive into the fourth set.
That's also impressive. This ball barely comes up off the ground. He's ready for it. It was just above the knees. Just hit it right smack in the middle.
Takes a lot to knock Agassi off the baseline. That shot did.
Came back quickly, didn't it?
Because he doesn't like backing off.
A 2-1 lead will return to the U.S. Open after this word from your local station. We are on serve in the fourth set. Todd Martin at 1-2.
Not 15.
Andre Agassi up 2 sets to 1. Good return again from Agassi.
Both these players have played on our Davis Cup team, and commercial, Mary and I were talking about Andre in Davis Cup. He's represented the U.S. 14 different occasions. And he's 20-4 during that time. Mary, he does always play well, doesn't he?
He plays just like this, Tony's 11th ace for Todd Martin. You know, Agassi didn't start out as a great Davis Cup player, but he's been the anchor for the team in the last couple of years, so he hasn't yet played in '94. But he plays like this. Pulls it down, brings it down, plays more conservatively. That just went wide, you know, puts the ball back an awful lot. It's 3 out of 5 sets in Davis Cup as well. And Agassi makes you play every point. That's why he's become such a good Davis Cupper.
Break point here now.
He's converted 5 of 8. Martin got the ball on him.
And a break point for Agassi. From this end of the court, I think Martin would be smart to serve and volley almost all the time, because he's having no success controlling the ground strokes once he gets into a rally.
Advantage Martin.
2 good serves in a row for Martin, getting his ad back. On serve in the 4th at 2-all. Tonight on CBS, you'll see Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman, and Walker, Texas Ranger. Here you'll see Andre Agassi, tennis player.
16 love.
Serving.
Agassi's point all the way. Martin on the defensive, being pushed all over the place, and here he yanks his cross court with a lot of wrist snap. Watch the wrist pop through there, the racket head, to get that ball cross court with a lot of topspin. Oh! The difference in agility, a man 6'6" just cannot cover that court like a guy 5'11".
That's true. We saw Michael Stich in the first match of the day against Novacek. He moves a lot better, I think, than Todd Martin. Much more supple. And he's a pretty big guy, too. Martin's got an inch or two on him. A very fluid mover.
40-15.
Martin's listed as 6'6", 190, and Stiek, I think, is 6'4" and 175. So some extra pounds, a couple inches shorter.
Andre Agassi, 3-2 with the fourth. He's up 2-1. The players are on serve in the fourth set. Andre Agassi leading Todd Martin 2-1. Martin serving at 2-3 here in the fourth. Rare miss from Agassi. Those baseline rallies, he's still hitting it very cleanly. Yes, we saw Brooke Shields checking the time. Might already have a reservation made somewhere that she's concerned about. Been out here at 1:39, and perhaps Andre promised her he'd have it done in a couple hours.
Seventh double. Just not getting enough spin on that second serve on occasion. We doesn't get around it, get the edge of it. He loses control of it. He's not very efficient on the second serve.
13-15.
That's one way to not have a problem on your second serve.
He's been awfully good hitting it right in that corner down the tee in the deuce court.
40-15.
They remain on serve. 3-all here on the fourth set.
You see Martin pantomiming his service motion.
He wanted to come in.
Game just isn't this easy. Look at this shot. I mean, off a pretty tough shot by Agassi. The game is tougher than that, believe me.
13-15.
Andre Agassi on serve 4-3 here in the fourth. Todd Martin at 3-4 on serve in the fourth set, but trailing 2-1 to Andre Agassi. The unseeded number 20 ranked player is playing a lot higher than that in this tournament. Clean winner from Martin. Wrong footing Agassi.
Another look at that last point. Agassi on the defensive. And Martin just stepped in that ball, transferred that weight, really had his racket ready early. Good preparation.
You say he's playing bigger than 20, Tim, and that's so true. In fact, Agassi's coach, Brad Gilbert, feels that within a year he can get Andre Agassi up to number 2 in the world. He's still not saying 1. Pete Sampras is firmly planted there.
Yes.
Not ready to say that. Pete Sampras, of course, beat Andre Agassi here 4 years ago in the final.
But think about what a lot of those 1 versus 2 matches could create.
It's the best rivalry in tennis, possibly.
Absolutely.
Sampras Agassi. Something to hope for, really. Right in the beginning of this match, Todd Martin's mobility could be the deciding factor for an Agassi win, and he's done a very good job of exploiting that relative weakness in Martin's game.
Started right off the return of serve, too, just instantly.
Martin, as we indicated, hampered by a groin injury, but even in his best state, the way Agassi's working him, the slower moving Martin would have the same kinds of trouble. 15-40.
Watch how quickly Agassi sets up here. The racket ready. Good snap of the wrist. It's the wrist snap. That racket head moves through that ball, brushes up over the back of it, and it is double break point for Agassi. If he gets one of these, he'll be serving for the match.
This hit the return. Good serve right at him.
13-40.
In this game. bad return, but he had no chance after that.
It's a gutsy shot by Martin right here because he has not had much control from that end of the court, and he just barely got that one down inside the baseline.
Martin's parents, Dale and Lynn, his sister Amy, second row there, hoping Martin can get out of this hole here and stay alive. Manage to Todd Martin.
He had fought off 3 break points that would have made it 5-3. And now this was a terrific serve he made. Badly mangled that volley, Tony.
Yeah, too big a motion. It's windy, it's gusty. You got to be very short on the motion, be very careful. Just directed it cross court, he'd have had the point.
Break point. 4 for Agassi in this game.
Still think he better serve and volley here if he can.
The U.S. Open Championship tomorrow. It's on his racket now. Michael Stieck awaits the number 4 seed from Germany. Todd Martin will try to have more tennis.
Thank you.
Three points away from his second U.S. Open final. Andre Agassi made it in 1990. He has been brutally efficient right from the beginning of this match. Highly focused.
And Todd Martin is a lot better than he's shown.
Yes. Looked a little bit sluggish, a little bit, just a tad slow throughout this match.
14-15.
Championship point for Andre Agassi. Pardon me, I didn't mean to say championship point. I mean match point. We've had the championship earlier of the women, and that went to Arantxa Sanchez Vicario over Steffi Graf in a brilliantly played match. Cheering for Todd Martin, wanting more tennis here.
If he can, I think Martin will try to get in behind this.
Only the fourth double falls. A costly one there, back to deuce. Trying to close it out against Todd Martin and advance to the championship tomorrow.
Thank you. Advantage Agassi.
Will meet Michael Stiek. A fine tournament for number 9 seed Todd Martin from Lansing, Michigan, a semifinalist here. But it'll be Agassi and Stiek tomorrow. And let's go down to courtside and Andrea Joyce.
All right, Tim, I'm with Todd Martin. Todd, we know that you're not the kind of guy who would make excuses, but you have been bothered by that groin pull. Did it hamper your mobility today?
No, really the only thing that hampered my mobility was were his ground strokes, and also I just was a little flat, especially at the beginning, and I played a good game in the second to get back into it, and then I didn't make a good enough effort to keep the momentum.
It didn't seem like we ever really saw you at your very best here at this U.S. Open, even though it was your best U.S. Open.
Well, I don't think I played all that bad. You can't just measure your level of play by the way you hit the ball. I didn't hit the ball great at all this week or these 2 weeks, but I felt like I competed well, and that's a major part of tennis, and that's something to be proud of.
You are a great competitor, and we enjoyed the effort, and we'll see you again next year. Thanks a lot, Todd. All right, back upstairs.
Thank you, Andrea. There is Andre Agassi, bags packed, ready for dinner out and championship action tomorrow.
This is match point. Again, Agassi on the prowl, well inside the baseline.
Happy response from his friends and coaches, and let's now take you to Pat O'Brien in our studio. Pat?
All right, Tim, thank you. So Andre Agassi has a new coach, new focus, new diet, new body, and new girlfriend. Tomorrow we'll find out if he can pick up a new trophy, and he's coming right in here to talk to us about that right after this as we wrap up Super Saturday here on CBS. Stay with us. Back in a moment. Manhattan, and we're across here in Queens, Flushing Meadow, and joining us for the 4th time in our studios during this tournament, and I bet he wants to come in here one more time, is Andre Agassi. Hi, Andre. How are you?
Good. I'm doing great now.
Congratulations. A lot of wind out there today.
You know, the conditions were so tough. I mean, it's one thing if the wind's just blowing one direction if you're playing in a park somewhere, but playing in a stadium like this, that wind comes down, the flags are going this way, and the wind's going this way, and the swirling wind, a lot of unforced errors is the key to, for the match, if you got to keep your unforced errors down.
But he has the wind, too, so, I mean, you both have to make adjustments in your game, right?
We did, and I think it favored me a little bit better because in the wind, the most important thing, as Vitas, you would know, because of your footwork, is footwork, and Todd, that is his weakness. He doesn't move quite as well, and plus, Todd takes big chances off the ground, and when the wind's moving around, he's going to make some errors.
Let's show some highlights here, as we like to do, and you told me a couple weeks ago that you're really hitting the ball well, and this proves it here. First set, you're serving 5-3.
Yeah, I knew I had to come out and take advantage out of the baseline points, because if he felt even for once that he could stay with me from the bag, that's going to give his serve games a lot more confidence.
And these kind of conditions, do you try to play a little bit safer when you're going for your shots, or do you still try to paint the lines, because that's sort of your trademark, really getting very close to the lines, aggressive?
Yeah, that's right. But no, in a wind like this, you got to definitely take the risk out of most shots. And, you know, when you go for a put away, you got to buy that 3 feet of margin. And sometimes the best thing to do is just to actually keep the ball and play a few extra shots.
And then we saw an improved part of your game also. We know you got the great baseline and service return game, but you came in, cut off a couple shots with that volley.
Yeah, you know, Brad's really been working on that with me. And
Brad Gilbert,
that's right. And he, like he says, I didn't serve him volley till I didn't start coming net till I was 24. He said before then I only came in net to shake hands, you know.
And pick up a tennis ball.
Pick up a tennis ball, right? So,
you know, we were watching you at the end here, and you're just so focused this year. There was really no showing of real emotion till the end of it. And talk to me about your focus. It's incredible. I mean,
well, you know, you need it, especially here at the Open. It's the toughest tournament in tennis without a question. And you have to stay focused because there's so many elements, whether it's it's the planes off in the distance now, mind you, and the crowds are always rustling around, and you also have the wind factor. You know, you have to just be focused out there. And plus, at this stage of the tournament, any slight letdown and the guys can get all over you.
Certainly, the New Yorkers have fallen in love with you. Tennis fans around the world are always crazy about you. Every time he plays a night match, and some of the matches we covered during the year, sold out. But it seems that you're starting to get that special feeling that Jimmy Connors had a couple years ago here with the New Yorkers.
You know, and I'm pleased that it's happening so young in my career. You know, Jimmy, it didn't start happening until he really became older. And for that kind of relationship to develop at this age leaves me a lot to look forward to.
Yeah, you look forward to playing in this crowd, too? I mean, it's like you have a synergy with them now.
Yeah, I mean, I won't accept going out of this tournament first round again. Let me put it that way.
I was watching their reaction at match point. They all jumped to their feet, and I think they were cheering for Todd a little bit at the end because they wanted to stay a little longer, but I don't think you're on their side for that kind of stuff, right?
No, but I'm excited to be back tomorrow. It's nice to know that they want me back there, too.
Let's talk about tomorrow now, and you and Michael Stick in the final.
It's going to be, you know, Michael's been playing some incredible tennis, so I've got to just go out there and I mean, gosh, just keep doing what I'm doing. I mean, I've been played so many baseliners that today was a bit of a curve, all of a sudden to play a big serve and volleyer, but I think that helped prepare me for tomorrow.
But I think it'll be a nice contrast because we're going to have two of the most talented players in the game. One's a serve and volleyer, pure serve and volleyer in Stick, and one that may be the best service returner in Andre Agassi. So I'm really looking forward to the two contrasts of two great players.
Brooke Shields, of course, was in the crowd today. Did you know that?
Wow, she showed up again?
Who's helped you more, Brad Gilbert or Brooke Shields?
Okay. You guys have been great.
Just watch your questions there, Venus.
Okay.
What is it like having her? What does she do for you? I mean, she's obviously great support and everything.
Oh yeah, I mean, you know, this is she's such a huge part of my personal life, and to have anybody that's that close to you come out and share in moments like this is a great feeling.
What will you do now? Will you go out and have dinner, rest? Are you tired? How do you feel?
I feel great. I mean, I'm too excited about tomorrow. I just wish I could speed up that clock a little bit. So what I'm going to do is just go get off my feet a little bit, get some food in me, and then look forward to waking up tomorrow.
4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. We'll see you. Thanks for coming in. We'll see you tomorrow. Good luck, Andre.
Thank you very much, Andre. Great match.
John. When we come back, we'll talk to Arantxa Sanchez Vicario after she won her women's title today, right after this in New York.